I thought it would be fun to create some images and compare them across different generators. So I'm starting off with this prompt right here. You can read it, the majestic snow leopard, yada yada. And this is what Midjourney created. I am in version 8.1 and you generate 4 images at a time in Midjourney. So these were the results. I actually tried it originally, but it was somehow pulling some kind of profile I had. I still think even without the profile, it's somehow pulling my kind of like personalization because it's got this kind of pink floral item here, which I did not put in the prompt. I'm curious also to know which one you guys think is the best in each batch. Okay, and here is what ChatGPT gave me. To be perfectly honest, this did a lot better than I was expecting. I think it kind of looks a little bit fat. It still did better than I expected it to, especially with the fur detail in the light. All right, let's move along to Gemini. I'm going to do it in regular Gemini chat. That was much quicker than ChatGPT, and honestly, kind of impressed. This may come as a surprise, but Flux Klein, which is only 2 tokens or credits or whatever you want to call it, um, has actually sometimes surprised me, but I usually am doing it with like interior images to create mock-ups. I feel like that's pretty good, and it was very quick. And then I'll do one more. I used to like Seedream, and they took that away, Seedream 3, but we have Seedream 4, so let's see what we get from that one. Seedream created, and I think it's okay-ish. Like, it's not bad, but I'm not sure if it was my favorite of the group. Okay, next up I have this prompt for a neutral wildflower meadow at sunset oil painting style. And I usually do like Midjourney for the oil painting, but I'm not sure I would list any of these for sale. Clearly it needed a little more guidance, but I do absolutely love the brush texture you get with Midjourney. It actually just really looks like somebody painted it. So I'm going to say that the problem here was my prompt. These are not the strongest ones I've ever made. And I have struggled with learning Midjourney a bit, but when you get a good one, you get a really good one. Here's what I got out of ChatGPT. This is starting to look a little bit better. This newest version of Chat is definitely better with the oil painting than the previous version. This one, though, to me just looks super AI. Um, this just these flowers. I actually hate when they put daisies. I'm always trying to tell every image generator no daisies. I just think daisies look really cheap. Okay, I updated the prompt very slightly and I specifically said no pointillism, use gentle elongated brushstrokes, also added a reference by giving it an artist name, and this is what it came up with. In case you were curious, this is the artist that I gave it as a reference. Okay, then I came into Kittl and this is Seedream 3 right here, or 4 I mean, sorry, Seedream 4. And it's a little hazy, I feel like, which sometimes actually is just the style of art. Out of Klein, I decided to run Klein as well. And for 2 credits, I actually think this is pretty nice, but what I'm a little confused by is why they look so similar. This is what I got from Gemini. Now, I'm not running Pro or anything like that. I guess this is just like, I don't even know what they're using in Gemini chat anymore. I don't know if this is Nano Banana. I don't know what it is, but this is just regular Gemini chat box. Next, I made a futuristic villain standing inside a massive sci-fi fortress with black armor, and I think this looks pretty good. These are the other ones. I thought this one probably looked the best. I could totally see this being a movie poster, I think, although to be honest, I don't normally create this type of art. And here we have Gemini. I didn't tell it to put any text. Here's what I got in Kittl, and I forgot to tell it to make it 4x5 like the others were. So these are 3x2, but I don't want to spend tokens and run them again. But one of these is Klein, one of these is Seedream. Curious if you have any ideas. One is worth 2 credits, one is worth 10. This is the Klein, the 2 credit one. The one on the left is the Seedream one for 10 credits. Again, this one puts some text in there. I'm curious why. I think maybe it's because I said movie poster quality. This time I'm doing a modern living room with floor to ceiling windows and picking Klein first. For Seedream, you have to come under See More to get Seedream 4. Here's what I got from Midjourney. That one might be my favorite of the 4. I think this one looks pretty fake because of the water. Then there's that one. And there's that one. I'm not sure what this is right here, but all in all, that's what Midjourney gave us. Here's what Gemini gave. That's pretty. And here is what I got from Kittle. The first one is the Klein for the 2 tokens. Again, let me just scale that down. I actually think the Klein one is one of the best ones. I've actually used Klein a few times now for creating mock-ups for wall art, and they've turned out good enough to actually use in my listings. So surprisingly, not always, but sometimes Klein can work pretty well for 2 tokens. And there you have it. So let me know what you think of each of these, which image generator is your favorite, and what kind of images are you creating?